So I have two observations. Jade works from home. And so she thinks putting on jeans and makeup is dressing up. That's what I got out of that. And
Well, don't be an asshole.
and then number two,
My leggings.
everybody here knows Jade did the balloon arch. So she talks a lot about how
I
impactful
talk a lot
that
about that thing. It's a big deal.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, and welcome to the latest episode. It's episode 21 of the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. It's hard to believe we've been doing this 21 weeks straight. So I am one of your hosts, Kirby Hasseman. Joining me today, of course, is the branding bestie, Jade Kreider. Jade, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. We've had a lot of solicitors at the door, so I'm excited to be done with that for the day, and then I'll feel really, really good.
Yeah, it's so funny. So a little bit of back inside baseball here. We started to record, and there was all kinds of stuff going on in your neighborhood. Maverick was not having it, and so we just delayed it just a little bit. And I walked out to talk to Dustin, who's our director of marketing, and was like, "People tell me all the time they like working from home." Okay, it's not really my cup of tea. But it's great.
Days like today make me question it. I will admit, they make me question it.
Yeah. So if you're new around here, this is the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. It's brought to you by Hasseman Marketing. Our goal is to help you elevate your merch and elevate your marketing and really try to be more targeted. Whether you're trying to reach new customers, appreciate old customers, or attract and retain talent, we help with all of those things. Check us out at hassemanmarketing.com. Okay. So let's dive in today. As is the case, Jade sends me topics. Some of them I understand, some of them I don't. And so today I'm going to let her lead on this first one because I don't really understand it. So explain and I'll do my best.
So I'm calling this one when to use aggressive sales versus when to use organic sales. And frankly, I kind of want your input on this, but this started, let me give the background of why I came up with this one because I think it helps. My sister is doing a big push to do some more TikTok incentives and things like that, and people have sent her some products. And that's been really cool for her, and I love it. However, I gave feedback of like, hey, if I'm on TikTok and you're like, look at this brand new item that I scroll quicker than you can tell me what the item is. Whereas if somebody is telling a story, I actually saw one the other day, somebody was like gossiping and telling like this whole story. And then she went like this and just put her glasses on her head instead. And there was a link at the bottom for the sunglasses. I didn't realize it till the end of the video. And I was like, first of all, I like the sunglasses. Second of all, that's how you do that. And so it was a very I think it made me go, oh, okay, so TikTok is a place where you're going for more organic sales, where stuff is just there and then people are interested rather than buy these sunglasses. Because if you're telling me to buy the sunglasses, I won't. But almost I thought we could have a conversation of when to use these, when to use organic, when to use aggressive and things like that. Does that make sense?
It does. It's really helpful. And I think that when you explain it to me, it's so I think it's whether or not you're doing overt advertising or brand marketing, right? So, and I think there's a line there. I think, and it also has to do with, you really get to see a creative influencer or creative marketer when they do that storytelling with the product as a part of that. There was a term years ago called brandscaping. And it was actually a book, I think, called Brandscaping. And it liked the idea of having two brands come together, but create really fun content that they were just a part of. Okay. And it's funny because the movie industry did this for years where you don't realize it, but now it's a little bit more people understand it. But for a long time, it was it was a Ford Mustang that the specific guy was always driving. Right.
Yeah.
And God, this is before your time. But Wayne's World, do you happen to remember that movie?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a great, remember we talk about Gen Z versus Gen X. All the Gen X people will know exactly what I'm talking about. So Wayne's World was an SNL skit that actually turned into a movie. Actually, two movies. They did Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2. And Wayne's World was one of the first movies where the main character was just like, I'm really thirsty. And in a movie, a major motion picture, he turned to the camera and was like, Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. Like he made fun of the fact that there was product
Oh,
placements in
uh-huh.
movies.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it was
I
like,
was
oh, I
like,
didn't
that's not
even,
subtle.
yeah, it was because it was making fun of the fact. I didn't realize all that
Uh-huh.
product placement was even happening.
Uh-huh.
So I think what my thought about this, and then I'd really love your take on it, is I think this is unique to content. And when I say content, I don't mean
Mm.
TikTok content. It could be
Mhm.
movies, that's content. It could be
Uh-huh.
written articles. So like sponsored content,
Uh-huh.
right? I, whereas I think sales, when you say sales, I hear sales.
Right.
And
I hear what you're saying.
organic sales, like in my mind, okay, that's people calling me and I just guide them to what they buy.
Right.
Aggressive sales is cold calls. That's what
Mhm.
happened in my brain. So
Mhm.
anyway, I think I kind of rambled a bit, so I apologize, but I think the idea of being able to do really creative marketing like that is
Mhm.
a gift. And
Mhm.
so, but thinking about it that way does make your stuff stand out. So that's my
Uh-huh.
take. What do you think? I mean, you're the one who brought it up.
I I think for me, I think it depends on the platform, is what I've kind of come back to. I
Mm,
don't feel as though my content that I've been doing personally is doing as well on TikTok, and it's not that shocking to me. Now, the funny sounds I'm doing for Hasseman marketing, yeah, those do great. Me talking about my 5 favorite products for real estate agents did horribly on TikTok, did great on Instagram. And I know that that's just part of it, is that it's going to
mm,
be platform to platform, but I think a lot of times Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, those can be better for like truly trying to advertise a service in particular. Whereas I feel
mhm,
like most people, and again, unless it's done really well, they are going to TikTok in particular to kind of escape some of the salesy stuff. Now,
mm,
ironically, TikTok Shop is ruining that, but um ironically, you were talking about that movie, and all I could think about was Barbie and the fact that they
mhm.
were like, "Do you want the Barbie heel or do you want Birkenstock?" And everyone was like, "How much you think Birkenstock paid for that
Yeah, yeah,
ad?"
right.
So it was the ongoing joke, but
Yeah. So here's I think it's a really interesting take. I think it's a great hypothesis you have.
I'm just
I
guessing for what it's
I
worth.
don't think you have enough data yet
You're
to
right.
say that the
I'm basing
five
this off of 3
realtors,
videos.
the five this, because I think that's a great concept. I think you'll know once you do 10 or 15 of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is like, oh God, I got to do 10 or 15 of them. But I think
That's the point.
sometimes I post, well, again, literally, this is a conversation we're having in the office right now, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a video to Choose Coshocton, the Facebook page today, that
Mm-hmm.
was this weekend is our hot air balloon festival. I
Mm-hmm.
posted video from last year's event that I edited together. It looked cool. I put music to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is going to crush because it's this weekend. Everybody's going to share it.
Mm-hmm.
No one cared at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say that to say it might have been that I didn't do a good job. It might have been that my copy wasn't as crisp as it needed. It might have been people are over. It might have been
Mm-hmm.
time of day. Like there's,
That's fair.
but I think if I do that every week, then I'll start to get
A
a real
consistency.
data point. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that being said, LinkedIn, I do understand your point. Is I do think there is a little bit more comfort level of you doing more
Right.
businessy stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think it's almost more expected on LinkedIn. And it's funny, Skylar was even, to your point, talking about the fact that somebody had recommended to her as she's doing this, like if your video didn't do well or you didn't edit it the way you want, delete the video and repost it at a different time. It might do 10 times better. The exact
Yeah,
same video might do 10 times better 3 hours later. It's
yeah.
so hard to tell. So, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I just find that, like, personally, the minute I see the link on TikTok, I'm more
Mm,
likely to scroll,
yeah.
like to buy it from there. And so my brain is kind of in the mode of like, okay, how do I make my content? AKA, how do we show our clients to brand themselves without branding themselves? If that makes sense,
Mm,
kind of like
yeah.
more
And
distributed.
it's funny because I think that's a new trend in
Mm-hmm.
merch where it isn't all
In
logo
your
in your
face.
face, it's
Uh huh.
message and your logos down here. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I think your hypothesis, you're onto something. And I think that a really well done piece of content does
Mm-hmm.
well
Anywhere.
regardless of the platform.
Yeah, you're not
Like, and
wrong.
so,
Yeah.
and I think that the, you know, QVC, for lack of a better term,
Uh huh.
getting on there saying, I've got 99, I've got this particular tumbler and they're 99.99 buy now. Like those are going to be what they're going to be. But if you can do something in a different way, where instead of that, you are just utilizing the product in the
video kind of thing.
Yeah, I do.
So
think
I don't know
that's
that we
always
actually have a solution here. I think it's just more of a conversation of like, consider it when you're doing your advertising, especially on social media, because social media can be a tricky platform. Because there are times where, like, if I check my phone in the middle of work, there's times where I'm truly going for inspiration, for me to create, and for me to get motivated. And sometimes I literally watch other people's working from home videos just to get motivated to want to work from home. Like, there are days where and then there are days where I'm laying in bed with my husband and I want to laugh at dogs sliding on ice. So I think it also just kind of depends on the mood.
Yeah. I love, I was looking up here and I can't see his book, but Gary Vaynerchuk has his most recent book. His main hypothesis is that most brands are not utilizing social media well to create their advertising, which I think is an interesting concept. So you can create a ton of different creative around social media, see what works, then utilize that as your ad campaign. I think that's a fascinating concept. And so that's why I'm always like, okay, let's do more and test it and whatever. So
and just see what goes.
Yeah, I love this as a topic. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm always really, I'm really sad that I did not introduce you to Wayne's World. So that's my fault. That's
ironically, I thought you were going to say Smokey and the Bandit, since we just watched that one. I thought you were going to tell me about that. So
yeah.
You know.
So that's funny about Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, that's when I was fairly young. So anyway, all right. What's our next topic?
Our next one is going to be kind of a checklist for events here. So we've talked a little bit about events, but we wanted to kind of just retouch on those because it is event season. I feel like event season is kind of summer fall time. That's when a lot of events go on, in my opinion. So kind of talk about like checklist items that we think that you should consider when doing your next event.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about our event, and so there's things that we think about. But then I think I think I might have brought this one up. Is I was thinking about a client event, and I was like, well, I hope they thought of this, and this might be of value. So that's where sort of this came from. So I made a little list of things to consider. You?
Me too. What did you have? You just go back and forth.
Too? Okay, I love it. All right. So again, this is from this client perspective. They were doing like an open house or a new event. And I was like, in an event like that, you can almost never do too much signage. Like there's the flag things by the road. There's the directional signs. There are the signs inside because it's a new facility. Signage for that particular event. And I found at those kind of events, sometimes if you are smart about how you create that signage you can use later. So that would be my first thing.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. Okay. I kind of created a list of things that I've been thinking about with our event, if that makes sense. I did a little bit different perspective. We've said this one before, but if you haven't listened before, 5 senses. Think about every single one of the senses when somebody walks into the event and hit every single one of those. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you
touch?
I couldn't remember the last one to save my life. But so that was my kind of like first thing of, we're talking about our show. What do we consider when we first walk in the door?
Yeah, I love it. Next one, we obviously we do branded merch. So I'm going to give kind of a 2-layered one. So branded merch that you give to everyone at the open house, and then a VIP gift. Because people don't like to say this, but the fact is not all customers are created equal. They're just not. Pareto's law says that most businesses, 80% of their revenue comes from 20% of their customers. So it's important to have VIP gifts and VIP thank yous, because those 20%, they're a small percentage, will drive 80% of your revenue. That's actually kind of a crazy thing. So while you want to show appreciation to everybody, you want to make those special people feel extra special.
Love that one. My next one is kind of the decor and the photo ops. Take some time to think about that. One of the things that we did at our show last year was a big balloon arch, and I found that maybe it's just me, I felt like more people took pictures at our events and shared them more than ever because we had that really fun photo op. People are already going to get dressed up to come to your event. Maybe not in their fanciest clothes, I'm not saying that, but they're going to put jeans on, they're going to put makeup on, they're going to do their hair, whatever. If everybody's there, take a picture together if they have a fun balloon arch. And then they're literally advertising for you. So put a little sign at the bottom with your logo on it, and then it's free advertising, and they get a family picture. So it's kind of a win-win. So it's just something to consider.
So I have two observations. Jade works from home, and so she thinks putting on jeans and makeup is dressing up. That's what I got out of that. And
well, don't be an asshole.
And then number two,
my leggings.
Everybody here knows Jade did the balloon arch, so she talks a lot about how impactful
that it's a big deal. Listen here, Kirby has decided to be a jerk today and come to my two most sensitive subjects, apparently. I don't put on makeup unless forced. I sure as hell don't put on jeans unless forced. I put a lot of energy into that balloon arch, and nobody gave it enough credit.
You're right on all accounts.
Let's make it so clear, if you're coming to our show this year, there's going to be another one, and you better take a picture of it. You better tell me 4 times how good it looks.
So there you go. Okay, so
Lord,
I just thought that was funny. Okay, so actually, this kind of goes with the balloon arch theme. Is I think almost always after an event like that, especially if it's one of those things that you've really worked hard on, you're proud of, spending the time to invest in a videographer or someone who's going to shoot video, who's dedicated, or just somebody on your team who takes the time to take pictures, post to social, do things that you're going to capture, because you're almost always, and man, we are guilty of this too, where you're like, oh, I wish we'd have got a photo of that. I wish we'd have got a video of that.
Should have got to take a picture of that balloon arch.
Yeah, that's right. More of them. I mean, we definitely got some. I mean, the reason I know we got some is because every time we talk about this, you mentioned that people took pictures in front of, so I know people took pictures in front of them, but we should have gotten more of them. I agree. That's a great point.
Ironically, my thought process was we were going to do kayaks this year, but then I was like, no, we're making it a balloon arch, dang it.
Follow-up is just have somebody dedicated to posting to social for your team. And then I love the idea of like telling people, hey, post a picture with the hashtag branded merch or branding base camp, because then on the social platforms, you can search that hashtag and see who's posting about you, even if they don't tag your organization in it. So that's
you can put that on a sign right next to the balloon arch.
I love it. That's great.
My next one is to do, it's almost like a pre-invitation and pre-social build-up. This year we're doing a lot of social media posts for ours, but last year, ironically, I wasn't there for it, but we did, well, I was, but I didn't do as much of it. We did golden tickets for our Wonka, and we took those and personally handed out those invites, and it felt like, again, I didn't do as many of them, but it felt like those went over really well. And so having some type of build-up to the event, having something they get ahead of time that gets them excited for the event can make a difference, because it reminds them, first of all, people get busy, but also, when it goes on theme and things like that, it makes it kind of exciting and fun.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one. And then my final one, and if you've got more, keep after it. Really to capture data and follow up. And one of the things that I've found is you capture that data of the people who've come and then automate the follow-up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. We talk about that all the time. But the reality of it is the event and the whirlwind that happens after the event is when it's really hard to, okay, we had 100 people that came in and now I'm going to send them all individual emails. Automate that so that at least the most basic stuff gets handled and you're getting in front of them, because I feel like, boy, people miss an opportunity on this all the time. And it doesn't have to be super fancy, the automation. It can be like, hey, email them the day after, email them a week later, email them a month later, the end. Right. And so that's my final one.
I like it. My final one was to have some type of informative take home or even a notebook. Somebody did this at one of the events that we went to where they had the information at the front of the notebook and then you could take notes in the notebook. I thought that was cool. But I find a lot of times I get home and if I didn't take great notes or if they handed me something, sometimes it's just easier than having to take notes in that moment. Having some type of handout that they can refer back to when they're home to remind them what inspired them in that moment. So that they don't have to remember it off the top of their head that they really liked that one lunchbox from the blonde-haired lady. Like, that's hard to remember, whereas if they've got a note or they took a picture, encouraging those kind of things can make a big difference in the follow-up.
Yeah, I really like that. And I've seen events do this where they will put, like, if there's speakers, there's presenters, there's sponsors, whatever, inside that notebook is all of their contact information.
That's a good
And
one.
I'm like, oh, well, that's super helpful, right? Because then you like, so yeah, I think that's great.
Like I think we did one of them where like, if you did all the things, you could get a discount on your next order kind of thing. And that's in that follow-up book. So something that you can take home with you, I feel like is a good,
I love it.
Nice touch at the end.
Cool. Okay,
next one.
Yep.
Next one is going to be our number one underrated promo product. And I'm hoping Kirby went the right way with this because I want one item that nobody purchases, but you feel like they should. I'm targeting our clients, which probably isn't fair, but sorry guys.
I think I'm going to hijack this. So
you're gonna. I know.
Yeah.
Like, drinkware.
I know. I have 4.
No! You're ruining it already! It's one item!
Well, okay. So my pushback,
at least.
My pushback is for who?
Everyone!
Like, we are breaking the rule of what we talk about all the time is like, it depends on for who.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Do it anyways.
I have a top 4.
Even Maverick just sighed. Even Maverick just went...
Exhausting.
Me too, babe.
What if I do top 4, but I do them really fast, so it only takes the same amount of time?
Okay, fine. Go top 4. Ready, go.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Number 1, lip balm. It is inexpensive, underrated. Everybody keeps it. About 40% of the people are addicted to it. Number 2, and this is actually my favorite, a very large custom year at a glance.
That is a good one.
It's super functional. It's actually not that expensive, and it puts all of your message. I have one right there. Very functional.
Okay.
Number 3, beach towel. Nobody throws away a beach towel. They're a huge imprint area, and people keep them an average of 7.5 years. And 4, umbrella. Everybody wants one. Everybody needs one. No one wants to buy one. The end.
This is actually a great point. I don't have a good umbrella here, so you're actually not wrong there.
So,
I hate it, but they're all good ones. That's not the point. I'm saying stuff that people don't order as much as you think they should. You think your number 1 was the year at a glance?
Yeah, I think if I were to pick one out of all of those, I think and it's because that's one of those items that actually used to be really, like, a lot of people did that calendar. It is a very affordable thing. It is incredible. Like, I don't know anybody who's like, oh my God, that's terrible, because they're just, you can put it in the break room. You can put them, I have it here in my office. You can plan out vacation days for your team. Like, that's one of those things that's just, people keep them and they're pretty affordable. So 365
I'll
days.
I'll go with my top 2 then, since you went 4.
Okay, sounds good. I was going to do like a top 10, but
I would have killed you.
Yeah.
I would have limited you. I thought about limiting you to 2 there. My number 1 that I put down was reusable totes. I just feel like I don't sell them. Like, and I've shown them. I probably don't push them enough, truthfully, as part of it. But reusable totes are, again, I don't think it's something you throw away. I think it's something that you give to somebody else, if anything. And so it's just not something that gets thrown away. And especially because, again, I live in Colorado, and we talked about the fact that bags are slowly getting banned. I think that's going to become more and more of a thing. But I guess if I had to go number 2, I would actually go name badges. Everybody uses them. You just don't think about it. You need them, though. Like, even us, like, we don't use them very often, but when you need them, you need them. So name badges are my number 2.
I like it. Okay. Great job. I'm so glad you had more than one.
Those of you who are just listening, that was me giving the stare of contemplating murder.
I think the kids call it the side eye. I think that's what that is.
Oh, thanks for giving me the kids name. Grandpa.
I mean, at one point in my life, that was an insult. Now it's just a statement of fact.
No, you're Papa. Anyway,
Papa K.
Papa K.
Yep.
Next up is our highlight of the product of the week. I actually get fairly excited for these, partially because a lot of the ones that I've done have been sent to me. So we've talked about this. I like to product test some of the stuff that we get because I've gotten some items and went, oh, cool, I'll never sell that again. Love it. Good to know. That's great. That's fine. This one is one that I feel like I've told everybody about, and so I had to question if we've used this as a product of the week or not. We have not. we are talking the Hang Tune wireless speaker.
Mm.
This one was sent to me. It's a 1-piece minimum, which is always nice because speakers can be a really great gift. They can be an award. Then you're talking personalization. Once you get to that 1-piece minimum, it's a lot easier. Mm-hmm. These would be, I even said like closing gift if you're a realtor. Anything this is great for. But also, so this has a hook so you can hang it. This has a magnetic back, which that's the thing that sounds like it's not a big deal. You can stick it to the fridge. You can stick it to the golf cart. John sticks it to the wall because we have a magnetic like wall thing out there while he's working on the car. He takes it in Humvees and sticks it to the roof. It sticks to anything that is metal, which is very convenient most of the time. It's louder than you think. It says it has 3 hours of playtime. I've definitely played it for longer than that. So I take that. We'll say 3 hours because they're probably right. But it's loud. It's a 10-watt speaker, 1-piece minimum. These are, I really, really like this speaker. I can't talk. I was so surprised when I was like, oh, great. I'm pleasantly surprised by this one. This is pretty nice. So this is the only one I haven't packed, if that says anything. This one is staying out for the move.
I love it.
Because all the stuff side of the U-Haul.
Yeah, all the stuff you packed, you can probably get rid of, right? Because you're not using it.
Listen here, buddy.
I'm really on one today.
You're really trying to get killed today. I'm going to send you a package that's just a middle finger, and it's going to be bricks and just a middle finger, so you have to lift a heavy package for that.
So for what it's worth, I really like that item. That's a good call by you. And I want to give you a shout out since I've been giving you some shit today. I apologize.
I don't care.
I was looking back at our product of the week shop. Dude, there's some cool items on there. You've done a great job of curating those. So for what that's worth.
For what it's worth, shout out to some of our suppliers who have sent me really cool stuff to make it really easy to do my job. Smart. But I like to show stuff that I truly use in my home, and this is one of those. So
I love it.
Tell me about my
All right, cool. So yeah, we'll finish with the shout out. This will be a fun one today, I think. So by the time this drops, it'll be the day that the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Coshocton County starts. It is the longest running hot air balloon festival, I believe, in the United States. It's funny, the history around Coshocton, Ohio. It's a small town. But we've got a great group of volunteers who are willing to jump in and raise their hand and say, well, I'll help with that. And it's been going on for a long time. So there's a whole hot air balloon festival. Years and years ago, I was a part of it. But I have really nothing in that event. So I'm not want to take any credit for it. They do a great job. It's one of the most well-run committees. They work their tails off during this weekend. I mean, they're up really early. They stay up till late. They fly these balloons. And man, if you have never had that opportunity to see, they're so beautiful, so majestic. So if you are sort of within driving distance of Coshocton, Ohio this weekend, I would check it out. It's free. It is a free event, so you can just come and check it out. The weather has to be perfect for a hot air balloon to fly. So sometimes they fly, sometimes they don't. That's something that the pilots, they can't control. But they usually do a night glow, which is really cool. They'll blow. They do everything they can so that they could. I mean, they want to do it. And so just a shout out to the volunteers, the pilots, and the folks that put on the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Coshocton. It's amazing. So.
That was always a favorite of mine, but I also got lucky for a very long time. I owned a home that was like right behind the fairgrounds. It was like over the hill. Yeah. And so if they were going up, I could literally go sit in my backyard and just go like look up, and you could see all of them floating overhead and 4th of July fireworks and things. It was perks. But the balloons in particular were cool to just like, oh, it's right there. Oh.
Yeah. It's actually, I mentioned the video that I put up this morning. And they're flying across the sky. That's off my front porch. It's just so cool. And you see them from so many places in Coshocton. And so it's a gift. It's a gift to our community. And so I appreciate that. So
it's really cool.
Cool.
We did it. We made it through with no solicitors. Score.
Yes. We haven't wrapped up yet. I'll give it a minute. But hey, thank you so much for doing this, Jade. Thank you for listening to this, all of our 3 listeners. I appreciate that. And
if you're one of them, let us know.
Yeah, that's right. And so, yeah, hey, check us out, hassemanmarketing.com. We've got all kinds of tools there. If you're a marketer, we've got the target marketing playbook. If you're in HR, we've got the target hiring playbook. So we've got some tools there that you can check out. And thank you for listening along. Jade, see you next time.
Love you. Bye.